tell you what to do in life instead of everything you know that you could get. Don't let them guide your life towards regret. I'll fight for what I love with every breath. My past is filled with things I won't forget. I use them all to push me to my best. So treat the worst of times just like a test. If only I could go back in time, I'd tell myself that everything will end up alright. Just push yourself, test yourself, figure out what you like, and find your limits, don't be rigid, always work towards a prime. Surround yourself with open minds, people can change your life. A few friends with intent can help you feel alive. Find a passion, take some action, and with a little time, just be patient, make a statement, try to enjoy your life. They'll try to kick you while you're down. They wanna rise up while you drown. They wanna fill your head with doubt. They're silently scared that you'll figure it out. I'll make it look like I'm losing, won't bother hiding my bruises. And when they finally think you're wounded, then it's your chance to be ruthless. Make some progress, I can see that they compare. I think everyone's against me, maybe something in the air. Am I paranoid? I swear a void is forming and they're scared. I walk a straight path, not many can say that. I like to play fast, cross me and there's payback. You better pray that I don't see your face at any place that I go. I know you hate that. I've been doing fine, I'm not wasting any more time. I live for the fight and the climb. I think that the pain that's deep inside is what defines. So I won't give up, I'm gonna make it to the top. I don't care what's in my way, I swear I'm never gonna stop. I could fall flat on my face and I swear I won't get back up. Cause I don't deserve a thing and the road ahead is tough. They'll try to kick you while you're down. They wanna rise up while you drown. They wanna fill your head with doubt. They're silently scared that you'll figure it out. I'll make it look like I'm losing, won't bother hiding my bruises. And when they finally think you're wounded, then it's your chance to be ruthless. Hey kid, don't ever let them get inside your head. They'll tell you what to do in life instead of everything you know that you could get. Don't let them guide your life towards regret. I'll fight for what I love with every breath. My past is filled with things I won't forget. I use them all to push me to my best. So treat the worst of times just like a test. If only I could go back in time, I'd tell myself that everything will end up alright. Just push yourself, test yourself, figure out what you like, and find your limits, don't be rigid, always work towards a prime. Surround yourself with open minds, people can change your life. A few friends with intent can help you feel alive. Find a passion, take some action, and with a little time, just be patient, make a statement, try to enjoy your life. They'll try to kick you while you're down. They wanna rise up while you drown. They wanna fill your head with doubt. They're silently scared that you'll figure it out. I'll make it look like I'm losing, won't bother hiding my bruises. And when they finally think you're wounded, then it's your chance to be ruthless. compare. I think everyone's against me, maybe something in the air. Am I paranoid? I swear a void is forming and they're scared. I walk a straight path, not many can say that. I like to play fast, cross me and there's payback. You better pray that I don't see your face at any place that I go. I know you hate that. I've been doing fine, I'm not wasting any more time. I live for the fight and the climb, and I think that the pain that's deep inside is what defines. So I won't give up, I'm gonna make it to the top. I don't care what's in my way, I swear I'm never gonna stop. I could fall flat on my face and I swear I won't give back up, cause I don't deserve a thing and the road ahead is tough. They'll try to kick you while you're down, they wanna rise up while you drown. They wanna fill your head with doubt, they're silently scared that you'll figure it out. I'll make it look like I'm losing, won't bother hiding my bruises. And when they finally think you're wounded, then it's your chance to be ruthless.
All right, what is up, Utah fans? This is Joseph back with the Utah Utes Football Digest, and what a game. Utah had some pent-up aggression and some anger, and they took it out on the Arizona State Sun Devils. I'm going to go ahead and eat crow right out the gate. I thought this was going to be a much closer, much more competitive game than what we saw. I think we saw a great Utah offense today that we haven't seen too many times this season against a decent Arizona State defense. I want to touch on this, guys. I think a lot of the narrative after this game from the media talking heads and all that is going to be that Arizona State is one of the worst teams in the Pac-12, and it is not a big deal what we did to them. I want to make it super clear that is not what happened today. Arizona State had been in close games against pretty good teams for the past 3 weeks. Colorado, they lost by 3 points, 27-24. Washington, who a lot of people consider the best team in the Pac-12 and a team that's currently undefeated, they lost by a touchdown and they had the game in hand and just gave it away at the end. And then last week, they beat Washington State by 11 points, who was a pretty damn good team up until the past few weeks where they kind of fell off. This ASU team was not a cakewalk. This was not a game that was a give me win. That's not what this was, but we made it feel like it was. Utah dominates the Arizona State Sun Devils 55-3. This game was not competitive after the first quarter and a half or so. Going into halftime, it felt like we were not just in the driver's seat, but we were on the highway, and they were still at a stoplight a few blocks away trying to get onto the highway. This was a dominant win. It was an awesome job on our part, guys. What a freaking game. I couldn't be happier. If you guys are just tuning in, please make sure you guys smash that like button. Also, comment down below, what did you guys think? Who really stood out to you guys during the game? We're going to go over a lot of different numbers, and it's going to be a ton of fun. Make sure you guys subscribe to the channel. We got a lot to look forward to. In a second here, I'm going to bring on Larry Pilgrim, Pac-12 Pilgrim, one of my favorite guys to talk football with. Larry, let's bring you on. Larry, how are you doing today, man?
Good. I'm doing a lot better than I was last week. How about you?
Yeah, it feels like the opposite of last week. What Oregon did to us is what we did to these guys. So it feels pretty awesome, man. What are your thoughts on the game?
Oh, that looked like we played an FCS team. Our guys were on point today. Looked like they had a lot of desire coming off that loss. So that was good to see.
And, that's why I made those comments earlier, because I think that's going to be the narrative heading out of this game is like, oh, Arizona State sucks. Like that's why Utah beat them 55-3. I feel pretty justified in saying that was not the case heading into this game. Do you agree, Larry?
Oh yeah, I mean, just look at their last 3 games. They haven't been a pushover to some of the better teams. So, yeah, very good game.
Well, I think this has me that much more. I don't know about you guys watching or you, Larry, but I'm that much more excited about the Washington USC game tonight, or in a couple hours, I guess. It's really soon. That game became a lot more intense and a lot more like I want to see what happens because that like don't forget Washington played Arizona State at home. Like Washington had the same advantage we had, and we made Arizona State look like they don't belong on the field with us. And Washington barely snuck out the win. I mean, where's your mind at heading into the Washington USC game, Larry?
I'm completely with you. Washington I don't know what's going on, but the last couple of games, they've been on the struggle bus. So I'm really wanting to see tonight the USC Washington game because that's going to be huge. Yeah, I'm real interested in that game tonight for
And
sure.
I think the number one thing is like, what does this game look like? I like played around with it in my head. I could see a lot of scenarios where USC actually looks better than Washington. Washington has not looked good for a few weeks, man. Would not be surprised. And just so you know, I'm gonna drop it in the chat, guys. The link if you guys want to hop on the video chat and share your thoughts. If you guys are interested, it's in the chat now. We'd love to have you on to come talk some Utah Utes football. But let's talk about the winners today. Utah goes out there, smashes them. We'll break down the stats here. Let me share the screen. Give me 1 second. All right, boom. All right, Utah versus Arizona State. So 55-3, guys. Let's take a look at the team stats. Utah puts up 513 yards, and Arizona State puts up 84. And I think a good chunk of Arizona State's 84 yards were in pseudo garbage time, right? Like it was honestly, this game was not competitive from like the end of the first quarter. It was clear Utah was in control. And then the thing that kind of bittersweet that we didn't score more or get more passing yards, but the game just didn't go that way. It's annoying that we can't get more passing yards because it's going to reflect that we're not a good passing team. But I thought we looked pretty good at throwing the ball today. I mean, what do you think about these stats today, Larry?
Yeah, I mean, the run game was going so good. I think the play mix was really good. I think we kept a good balance, even though it doesn't show, because we threw when we didn't have to enough to keep them honest. So I thought we had a good passing day. We just didn't need to throw it. Our running game was insane today.
I agree, dude. Yeah, it was actually a really good passing day. And even though we only went for 161 yards, Bryson Barnes, dude, what a day. Let's pull him up here. 19 for 28. So what is that? Like just 64%, something like that. And then he goes for 161 yards and 4 touchdowns, 0 interceptions. Bunch of guys got involved today that I was super impressed with receiving wise. Landon King, a guy that's caught a pass here and there, but it felt like he kind of, at least in my eyes, felt like he really showed that he should be the starting tight end and being on a lot more reps. How'd you feel about Landon King today, Larry?
Yeah, what was it, 3rd and 16 or 22, and he caught that one right in front of the like 3-yard line.
Yep.
That was amazing. He needs to be utilized more as a receiver, find the soft zone. I don't know why we haven't been doing that, but he showed he can do it today, I think.
And speaking of talented receivers, another guy right here, Munir McClain. What a catch, dude. It was a little bit of garbage time, but at the same time, that was such a nice catch. I mean, I've been pounding the table about Munir McClain all year. Like his yards per like receiving snap are incredibly high. Like he's a guy that needs to get more. Also, Devon Vele, a guy that had a great game today, 7 receptions, 56 yards, 2 touchdowns. Larry, what are your thoughts just on the receiving core and how he performed passing the ball?
Yeah, I thought did really good. It was nice to see McLean climb the ladder in the end zone there. Um, Gosh, I wish he could stay healthy. He's only been in a few games and he's just been dominant. So it's going to be nice to have him in the mix. Bailey looked good. Matthews looked good. I think all around the receivers got open today. I mean, other than the scramble, and I don't know what's going on with that, with the concept when Bryson's rolled right, but all year we've got nothing when he rolls to the right.
Dude,
You
that's
know,
so funny you mentioned that, Larry, because I noticed that today. It was like literally if Bryson scrambles, it's nothing's gonna happen. I know I like started to notice it today. I was like, I don't want to be too negative. I mean, this was a
yeah,
heck of a performance, but I did notice that too. I know what you're talking about.
yeah,
Let's talk about something. JJ. JJ went off, dude. That huge run. What a day. Let's move up to his stats. Jaquindon Jackson, 13 carries for 111 yards and 8.5 yards a carry and a touchdown. What a tough way to go. I don't know about you, man. I've never, can you think of another time where Utah's got a 50 plus yard touchdown run where right afterwards you felt worse than that? Like I can't think of a play where it was like we had such a good play and then right after it was
oh,
like you're like, oh no, dude.
yeah. I said I'm about ready to throw up with this injury bug. Like right as it happened, I'm like, "Are you kidding? Can we keep somebody?" Like it was an amazing run, and yeah, it's like, no, I'm hoping he's okay. But
Yeah, I'm
yeah,
hoping he's okay too, but I'm being honest, that did not look good. I'd say like mentally, I'm leaning towards the idea that we might not see Jaquindon Jackson again this year at least. So
yeah,
it's how it looked. That sucks. I mean, I've been he's another guy where I'm like, yo, when Jaquindon Jackson's in, we're a different offense. What I
mm-hmm.
also liked about today too was Sione Vaki was not playing offense at all, and I think that helped our defense a lot, keeping him fresh, keeping him on defense. Where Jaquindon Jackson was manning the entire offensive production role out of the running back spot until he got injured. What'd you think of? Did you notice that Sione Vaki was only playing defense today? I'm sure you did.
Yeah, yeah. I was wondering. There was a couple of short plays, and I thought, I wonder if they're going to bring in the Vaki package, and they never did. But we were kind of in control of the game without him. So,
Yeah.
I think if we go up to Washington, they may need him depending on Jaquindon's health. I mean, it's going to be insane because they've got some receivers to cover up in Washington. So I don't know, man. Let's just cross our fingers going forward. But yeah, no Vaki package today.
Yeah, I think it was a judgment call. They said, I don't think our defense does as well when Baki's tired. And it did feel like his defensive performances, just eye test wise, hadn't been as impressive. I'm sure he was very tired. So I don't hate the idea of not having him play. I do think now that Jaquindon Jackson's out, though, against Washington, we're going to want Vaki in there and we're going to want him. I mean, I can't imagine Jaquindon's in there. I hope he is, but I'd be just shocked if he was. He couldn't put any weight on his leg. So
yeah,
bad sign. But seriously, guys, let's keep it positive. If you guys are just joining in, make sure you smash that like button. Utah throttles ASU, not even a competitive game, and and just makes them look like like Larry said earlier, they were an FCS team. That's what it looked like. We were playing Weber State or SUU. That's what it looked like. So make sure you guys smash that like button, comment down below as we go through all the numbers here, and subscribe to the channel. We put out a ton of Utah Utes football content. Next thing let's talk about, Larry, is the defensive performance. Anyone in particular that stood out to you today?
man. I don't think any Cole did Cole stuff. I don't know. It just looked like everybody did their job today. Obviously Ellis is just a beast, but it seemed to me like they played really fundamental football today. I think it was a great team defense. I don't know if any one person stood out. Battle looked okay, I guess, for what we've seen of him so far this year. He seemed to hold up little better today.
Oh, I
What do
agree
you?
100%. I
Yeah.
think we lucked out on that PI call, though. That was not PI. That was he literally just fell. So,
Yeah.
but I'm with you. Yeah, Miles Battle actually had I thought a really good day. I mean, all things considered, and that speaking of Miles Battle, that one interception that got overturned, where it was like they caught it around Cole Bishop, and then they went to. Do you remember that one, Larry?
Yeah. Yep.
That was a weird one. How'd you feel about it? I was really, for a minute there, as I kept watching that replay back, I was a little worried they were going to call it a catch. I was like, oh, this is weird. In real time, it felt for sure like it wasn't a catch, but sometimes they can overthink it on the replays. So, but
Yeah.
yeah.
Ball hit the ground kind of as he was coming down. So I don't think it would have went anybody's way but ours, because it was what, third down and forever. So
Yeah.
we
That
got
was
the
a
ball
weird one.
back. Yeah.
Boom. So a couple keys to the game I had. Actually, let's talk a little more about the defense, and we'll talk keys to the game. Nate Johnson came in at the end and went off for a huge run. But sorry, I'm all over the place. I'm excited. It was quite a win. Let's look at. They don't have the defensive numbers yet. Let's go see if we can go back and pull up ESPN. ESPN should have the defensive numbers. All right. Okay. Lavani Demooney with 11 tackles today. I'm not shocked. I mean, that's a lot of tackles. Jimmy Emerson commented that go Utes. Lavani Demooney played great. I agree. I feel like when the game still mattered and we were in when ASU was still in the game, there was a lot of clutch, like not open field tackles, but like in the bunch where Lavani Demooney just stood in there and made the tackle. I think for me, he's been an awesome addition. He's been an awesome transfer. What do you think about him today, Larry?
Actually, now that you mention it, there was a couple of plays. I remember Scadaboo, which that dude's a beast.
Yep.
He's run over every. Damani, actually, I think it was 2 or 3 different times. Damani stood him up on his own. So yeah. Now that I think about it, Damani did have some really good play today. So
no, yeah, he impressed me a lot, and half a sack and half a tackle for a loss. So pretty good day for Lavani. That's awesome day. Karine Reed, another guy I noticed flying around a lot. Jonah Ellis was credited with 1.5 sacks. I remember one. I don't remember the other one, but still awesome there. I thought Connor O'Toole actually had a very good day as well. I wonder if this is a scheme thing or what this is, but there was a play where he got a sack, the sack he got, where he like speed rushes to the outside and the tackle follows him for the speed rush. And it's almost like it's designed for him to come back in. Do you know what I'm talking about?
Yep.
He's like ready to jump back in so the quarterback will step up in the pocket. I think the D-line in general has just been awesome all year, and they looked very good today.
Yeah. Yeah. I know which one he got I think it counted as a sack because I think it was a 2-yard behind the line, but he was kind of holding edge. Yep. And then when it broke down, he bounced in. Yep.
It was a nice play. Yeah. I noticed that, and I was like, wow, was that designed or what was that? It was pretty cool.
Excellent. Excellent play.
There was a few things. DW2CB says 31 yards. Scatahoo. I like that. That's a good one. Let's move on to some. So a few keys to the game that I had, Larry, that I want you to tell me how you felt about it. So one of my keys to the game was sound tackling. I felt like, I don't know what the missed tackle number is. I don't know where we would even find that, but it really felt like Utah did not miss any tackles outside that big kick return. I think we might have missed 1 or 2 tackles all game. You feel like we did a pretty good job there?
Yeah, I think there was like 1 or 2 we missed, but they were on the negative side on ASU side of the field, so it didn't hurt us a bunch. But I think we've only missed probably just a couple tackles today. So I felt like tackling was really good, especially against Scadaboo, man. That dude's, I've watched him. He's hard to bring down, and we did it.
Yeah, I literally put in my keys to the game. I said sound tackling, I didn't say Scadaboo. but I said ASU's running back is a bruiser and makes people miss tackles. If he starts making us miss tackles, it's going to make it way easier for ASU to throw, and that will be a problem for Utah. But that didn't seem to be the case. It looked like Utah did a great job tackling him all night. Another thing I put down is stay out of 3rd and long. This means to stay somewhat conservative on early downs because you don't want to wind up in situations where Bryson has to throw because you want to throw, not because you need to. I did not expect us to do such a good job of this. I think the offensive game plan today was on fire. I mean, it was Bryson Barnes dropping back, throwing when we want to throw, not when we need to throw. We would consistently not be behind the chains. We'd be short 3rd downs, short 2nd downs. And Bryson, he got away with a few things here and there. There was a few forced balls that could have been picked off a few times, but it doesn't take away from his great performance. And I thought the game plan was good to keep us in 2nd and 3rd and short. And I thought Bryson had a great day. You think we lived up to that one there, Larry?
Yeah, that's like you were saying on the keys to the game. I think they mixed it up like you said they needed to. Like, you don't always have to run on 1st down. Maybe take a 3-5 yard dump off, let your playmakers do it, and they did that a lot today. I think it was a really good game plan today. Money Parks, he looked like he had a little extra spark to him today too. I don't know if you noticed, like he was catching everything today, and they were pretty tough catches. So
yeah, Money Parks, that definitely his best game of the season by far.
Yep.
Vele too, probably. I know last week was good, but considering how bad of a game it was for us, I'd lean that this was his best game of the year.
Yeah, Vele last week made some. Oh my God, he made a few crazy plays last week. I'll give him that. But
and we noticed it over the past few games. I think we've talked about it on some of the streams where it's like, hey, Vele's open a lot, and we're just not throwing him the ball. That must be frustrating as a receiver to be getting open, and the quarterback situation's not where it needs to be, and you don't want to be a diva, but it's like, hey, throw me the damn ball. So
yeah, 2 touchdowns and 1. He could have had another, but he was off a little bit. Barnes was just a little off. I mean, it was a tight throw, but yeah, Bailey had a great day. It was a great game all around, team wise, other than special team kickoff return. But hell, you got to give them some yards. They probably had more yards in special teams than they had on offense, I bet today.
Oh, for sure. Off that one kick return, they had 80 yards. Yeah, for sure. So, I mean, they probably had 150, like 120, 150 kick return yards, and they only had 84. Like, not even question, for sure.
Yeah, hell of a game.
The other key to the game I have is defend the pass. Utah has not looked great this year in defending the pass. I think some of that is game script and stuff like that, but we haven't. That's like, if there's an area where our defense has been susceptible, it's probably getting passed or getting thrown on. I would say we more than lived up to that challenge. I mean, damn, dude, I'm feeling good. I know the quarterback got injured early on, and we only got to see 3 plays from their quarterback before he got injured. But I mean, it didn't look like they were going to do anything. And I thought our pass defense looked awesome. And I think it's a really, really good sign moving forward. How'd you feel about us against the pass? And does it make you optimistic for Washington?
It does. So I was like, today, I'm like, because Dillingham, when we played Oregon last year, they just dink and dunked on us the whole game. And then Oregon did it last week. And I'm like, we got to play closer to the line. We can't give them that, especially. And we played like 5 yards. I saw a little press man, and our DBs held up pretty good. I think Broughton got burned by 1 pass, but other than that, I mean, our guys were there. I want us to go back to old Utah where we're up on the line, trying some press man, especially when they're missing a lot of their linemen and their QB is just not that great. I thought we did great. I think the game plan was good, and I think our guys did good. Badger is a pretty good receiver, and we kind of held him today. We held him in check. Connors, or whatever his name is.
Conyers? Is that who you're talking about?
Conyers, that
12,
dude.
I think. Yeah.
13. Yeah, that dude's a beast too. So I think we did great.
Now, ASU has weapons. Like, ASU is not a lackluster team. They don't have great quarterback play, but they do have weapons. They have Scattaboo, Conyers, Badger. Yeah. So I'm
Oh,
with you. Yeah. I think the narrative that some media heads are going to say, like I talked about earlier, is that we beat some crap team. That's really not what happened. So, all right. And now let's talk about this Utah offense. I know we touched on some of the guys, but let's pull up the numbers and let's see who really impressed us. I don't know if you guys saw this, but Dejon Stanley got into the game. I know he wasn't exactly the playmaker of the day, but for the young running back to get in and make a play, I thought was pretty cool. Did you notice that one, Larry?
yeah, yeah. He had that bad exchange with Nate Johnson,
Mm-hmm.
and after that, man, I think it probably pissed him off, and he got another chance, and he ran hard for being. He's a little smaller than I thought he was going to be, but man, he ran hard. He ran real hard. So
I noticed that too. It's funny you say that. I noticed that. Like he looked small when he
yeah,
was out there. I was like, oh, wow, he looks thin.
yeah.
So,
Oh, you know what? It was funny. I saw him come in the game, and I said to my wife, I go, see that little guy right there in the 30? She's like, yeah. I said, watch this. He's going to come out, and they're going to dump the ball to him.
oh,
And he
wow, good
remember he had
job.
that big receiving, that
Yeah,
big
yeah.
reception that
Yep.
got us a first down. I was like, he's a great receiver, I think.
Well, and don't
Yeah,
forget, he came from an offense in high school that I don't think he was playing. I don't know if it was 5A or 4A, but I would lean towards lower level from what I was seeing. But he literally, his team just ran the ball every play. Like, that's all they did. Like his whole offense was just running the ball, and he racked up 2,000 plus yards. I mean, he was really, really good. He's a good player.
yeah, yeah,
He actually came on the channel and did a little like interview. He was a
yeah,
cool guy.
yeah. I
Yeah.
remember that. He's way cool. Yeah.
Yeah, cool guy. Yeah, so the offense, anyone that we haven't mentioned that stood out to you, Larry?
Uh, um. Who's our backup linebacker? He came in. Fano. I think it's not Fano. Fotu.
Go
Fotu.
to. Yeah.
Yeah. He played pretty damn good after for the backups.
Yeah.
He looked really good. He was shutting down the running game as well when he relieved Damani and Reed. And
Yeah.
I think going forward, I love our linebacker room. Man, we're loaded.
No, I know. I remember when Landon got hurt, I was sad because Landon's a difference maker, and I don't think you can really replace him. I mean, Lander Barton. Sorry, I don't know why I said Landon, but Lander Barton. When he got hurt, I was sad because he really is a big part of this team and a big time playmaker. But I knew Levani would come in and do a great job. In the few games we saw him in, he was so good that I was really happy. And we got Justin Medlock back there. Like you just said, we got Fotu. It is a deep room. And we coach linebackers and safeties really well. So you don't like seeing those guys get hurt, but you feel good that we have backups that would be starters on a lot of other teams. So anyone on offense that stood out to you that we haven't mentioned?
I was gonna. Spencer Fano seemed to do pretty good today on that left side. He seemed to hold his guys pretty good. It seemed really good. Most of the pressures were coming up off of the right and up the middle. I didn't.
What'd you think about the run blocking today?
I felt it was pretty good. I think we had a couple of lapses, but I think for the most part they were creating some holes that you and I probably could have got some rushing yards on today. There were some big holes.
There were some plays where I was like, whoa, like we're 5 yards out and that's when the hole starts. Like 5 yards from the line of scrimmage. I was pretty impressed. So I'm the most critical of the offensive line at anyone on the channel. So I would say I was pretty impressed. It's one of those things. It's hard to watch, and then I like to look at the PFF grades after because they're watching it way closer than I am. But I felt pretty good about the run blocking today. Basically, what I noticed, and I'm sure you'd probably say the same thing, it was like the run blocking was really good, but almost every other play, one of the offensive linemen would just let a guy rip through him. But the rest of them were really doing a good job. It was like there were mistakes for sure, but as a unit overall, I felt really good. Do you agree with that, Larry?
Oh yeah, it seemed like after every bad run, you saw a lineman just standing up with no defensive guy around him. and he's got the running back. The defender's got the running back on the ground behind him. And
Yep.
yeah, because Keaton Bills, I saw that. I'm like, you didn't even block anybody, Keaton. Like I was just like, whatever, man. Yeah, it was, yeah. All five in sync weren't going all day, but luckily we managed. Yeah, I saw that myself. Good
Yeah.
pickup.
Yeah. And make sure, guys, as you come in, smash the like button. I know a lot of you guys are coming in from the press conference. I'm excited to check that out after this. Also, comment on any of the topics we're going on. I would love to hear your thoughts. Make sure you guys are subscribed to the channel. We put out a lot of content. Larry, next topic. I think this is what everyone's mind is on right now. You know what? Before we talk about that, let's talk about this. And then we'll go into ours. What do you think is going to happen today, Larry? USC versus Washington. What happens in that game, dude?
Ooh. The thing, I think the strength of USC is their deep coverage secondary. So, oh man, I don't know how to call that game. I don't know what Washington team's going to show up. If the same Washington team shows up that's been out there the last 2-3 weeks, I think USC is going to destroy them. I don't know, man. This game, I couldn't tell you. I wouldn't put $1 on it. USC is going to score. We know that. I think this defense sets up well to defend Washington. If there's any, the secondary for USC, they're quick and fast. So they're kind of built for that. Let's see what Washington's game plan is. I think that's the biggest part of it.
Yeah,
is how Washington's going to attack.
Yeah, I agree 100%. Yeah, what team shows up today for both teams too, not just Washington, but for USC as well. Like, does Caleb Williams look like Caleb Williams? Like some of these other teams that were putting up points against Washington, if they can do it, Caleb Williams better be able to as well, right? It's if he doesn't come out and have a crazy game, really bad sign for USC. I mean, I think as Utah fans, we obviously want USC to win. It puts us a lot more in control of our own destiny, right? Because we have the win over USC. I think we all feel really highly likely that USC is getting beat by Oregon, right? And so if we were tied with USC, I do believe that means we would be in over USC. And then if we beat Washington, we'll be in over Washington. So I really think that's – I mean, am I right about that, Larry? Isn't that how that would go down?
Yeah, it's really, when you look at it, so Oregon State's got 2 losses. They're not winning it. They haven't won at Autzen in I don't know how long, and this is one of the best Oregon teams that I've seen. Yeah, that's exactly it. If Washington loses today to USC, we win out, and Oregon takes care of USC and Oregon State, then we have the tiebreakers. Yep.
Yeah. And honestly, sometimes you got to take a step back and ask yourself, am I thinking what I want's going to happen is going to happen because I want it, or do I actually think it's going to happen? You know what I mean? I actually do think USC's beating Washington. I do. That's where I'm at. I can't imagine Washington will look that much different. And look how close we played it against USC, and look at how close Utah played it. And it's going to be – we just destroyed a team that Arizona State that Washington barely beat. I see a lot of factors headed towards the fact that Washington is about to have a rough rest of the year. I know it sounds weird because they're undefeated, but I just feel like the trajectory is not looking good for them.
How did they beat Oregon?
I know, dude. It's like a totally different team.
I don't know what in the heck's going on. I don't know how they beat Oregon, really. Not after 15-7 against Arizona State at home, and it took a pick 6 to get to 15. Yeah. Washington did not put up a touchdown against Arizona State offensively last week. That's insane. I mean, our JV team put up 14 in the first quarter. Yep. So, yeah. Nope, I'm with you. Just like last year, it was chalk. You know what I mean? We knew Washington to beat Washington State. We'd beat Colorado. So I think we're in the same boat. I think it's pretty chalk. We could make it. Yeah.
So how are you feeling right now? I feel like this is, we'll do the stream heading into next week after this USC Washington game plays out. I feel like that'll probably sway your opinion a little bit. Where is your confidence in Utah after today's game, and where is your confidence in Utah about possibly beating Washington?
Husky, I don't know what it is. Husky Stadium's been rough for us. Of all the places we've played, that's been one of the roughest spots. I don't know. Like you said, I got to see what Washington looks like tonight. JJ, I haven't watched one Washington game start to finish this year, so it's hard for me to judge. I don't know how much Washington you've watched this year.
I would say I've watched a chunk of it, like some of the bigger games. I'm definitely watching tonight. I watched the Oregon game. The Oregon game was going on when we played. Who was it? I feel like it was a big game, and then that was on right after.
We were playing. That's why I haven't watched them, because we're on at the same time. It feels.
Yeah, literally, we play games at the exact. We're getting lucky that we can watch them play tonight. So
yeah.
Yeah, I feel good about it. I would say for me, or Utah at Washington. Like you said, I'm going to need to see what happens when they play USC. We've seen what happens in our common opponents. They beat Oregon. Oregon beat the crap out of us. They barely beat ASU, and we beat the crap out of ASU. I'd even say beat the crap out of ASU might be an understatement. We demolished them. And so it's really like this USC game is a big factor. Like, think about those other 3 games I just mentioned. This will play a role as well, right? Like, how does this one go? And that should give us, especially this is the most recent sample size. And by the way, I just double checked. Washington is at USC. So they're going to go to the Coliseum. Don't forget, guys, when it comes to Pac-12 play, USC still has a lot to play for. Like, USC still has a lot ahead of them. They're tied with Oregon for second place in the conference right now. So, yeah, I would just say, like, USC fans are not going to not show up to the Coliseum. They're going to come out there, and they're going to get loud. They're going to, try to win this game. Larry, what's your prediction for tonight? Why don't you give what is your thought? Who do you think wins the game? Just give a prediction.
I'm going to go.
Know what's going to happen. But.
I think USC gets it. I really do.
How do you think it happens?
Kind of like Washington played UCLA last year. UCLA jumped all over Washington last year and was up by 3 touchdowns going into the fourth quarter. Washington made a late run. I'm going to say like 42 to like 21 going into the fourth quarter. And then, Washington's going to get some points.
Yeah.
So,
wow. Okay. So you're thinking a pretty dominant win.
Yeah, I think Washington's going to do the same thing they did last year when they played UCLA in California, in Westwood. Yep.
And you think USC wins or Washington wins? Sorry,
yeah.
Just making sure.
No, I think wins? USC gets them. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Cool.
Yep.
Yeah, I don't think it's going to be that dominant, but I feel you. I think it's a shootout, and I think that USC defense. They're not the most well-rounded defense, and they're probably not a good defense at all, but they do have playmakers on that defense. And especially like you mentioned earlier, their DBs are actually a pretty good group. So if your game plan is to throw the ball against them, you might not have a ton of success doing it. I do think if anyone's going to have success, it's Washington, that receiving core, McClellan, Odunze, and whoever the other guy is.
Polk.
Yeah, Polk. It's like if anyone's going to do it, it's going to be those 3, plus Michael Penix. But they don't look the same, dude. They don't look the same, and they look off. I've got it similar to you, something like 42-31, something like that.
Yeah,
I'm with you. Well, Larry, I guess we'll shut this thing down. But anything else you want to say before we get out of here?
No, go Utes, and glad to be back on the W train. Yeah,
go Utes. Thanks so much for watching, guys. Like, comment, subscribe. We're out of here. Enjoy the USC Washington game.